I think we all had that moment when we're playing gotcha games where we wonder, are we wasting our stones? Are we wasting our pulls? Do I have everything I need to complete? Can I stay free to play? Can I not stay free to play? Is free to play even attainable in this game? And I wanted to go over a few things when it comes to Dokkan and how it handles its free to play grind and what you can do to remain free to play as well as improve your free to play experience. And with that said, what is a bad banner? Number one, what is a bad banner? You see, I pulled up this Dokkan Festival Gohan and Piccolo from the Saiyan Saga. We got this semi recently on Global. I know it feels like forever, but don't worry, the days are just passing really slowly because we don't get anything on Global. Just take a look at it, right? One of the things that Global does have in its corner is that we know what's coming up. We won't once the 10th anniversary gets here, but we know what's coming up for at least this year towards Tanabata and Worldwide Dynamo Celebration. We know the content. We know that these dodge or die characters can still be pretty useful. Can Turles? No. Can this Bardock? No. Can this Yamcha? Like, at least this character has like a turn of always dodge. Yamcha, true dodge or die. This Ginyu has since become not runnable, but with enough run attempts, you could get him through a run with the new Captain Ginyu, the LR that is now on JP. Don't make me fucking laugh. And the rest of this is trash. This is a banner with the DFE itself, the banner unit. 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5, and then like another row of like 11, 12 characters that are just they're bad. They're completely bad. Even the DFE itself is just okay in the current 9-year space. So number one is, please make sure that if you pull, this is the character you want the most. And if I'm being really efficient, do not pull on stuff like this, man. This is terrible. Because every time you do a pull, you are not just pulling on this unit. You're pulling on every unit that could come with it, and that means you're pulling on every dupe that you already have. You're pulling on every rainbow unit you already have. You're pulling on every coin in the shop that you've already used. You are using a lot of currency that could be nothing. So you hear it all the time. Do not pull on these bad banners. This is a bad banner. Do not pull on things like this. Number two, of course, is going to be evaluating good banners. You don't need me to tell you that this is a good banner, right? Even at the beginning of the 9th year anniversary, people speculated that we were going to be getting some bomb EZAs. These were obviously guaranteed. These are 6 years, I believe. The 7 years are coming up. They're right here. So you know that the moment you pull on this, even without knowing what the EZAs were going to be, what they were going to look like, you know that the anniversary EZAs were going to be good. You know that. You've seen the 5th years. You knew they were going to be good. In retrospect, and for global, you know they're really good. You know this is 3 and 2 respectively. So with the unit itself, Beast Gohan, the banner unit, which is solid enough, kind of misplaced on superheroes, but you can use them. You can use them, right? These two characters who make up the 2nd and 3rd best character in the game, respectively. And some anniversary units in this and this, which will EZA one very soon and one in a bit. You know that you're in for something, right? You're in for some useful characters here, which means that now you're going to start looking at, well, what does that mean exactly? How useful is a banner if I've already got dupes? First thing you got to know about Dokkan is that the first 2 dupes are the most important, period. I guess that'll be number 3. We'll lead into this point. You already know what a bad banner looks like. You now know what a good banner looks like. Now, how do you evaluate the lack of value you get the more rainbows and dupes you have? All right. So, Broly releases. He's completely fresh. I'm only pulling for him. Well, this Frieza's pretty good. I wouldn't mind getting him. Maybe I put 1,000 stones in. I'm free to play. I've been saving all year. Put 1,000 stones into this banner. I don't mind seeing Broly, of course. I want this unit. I don't mind seeing the Frieza. This Zamasu, especially for villains, has aged pretty well. He's still pretty good. It's a little sketchier, right? It's a little sketchier. I don't really want Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta, and plus they're from an anniversary. I probably already have some dupes of them. The moment I have a unit rainbow, let's say, for example, I'm pulling on this banner, I already have these guys rainbowed. That's one dead unit. Doesn't matter if you can turn them into coins. Doesn't matter if you can do the. It is a dead unit. I don't want to see this as my featured unit when I pull a card. So that's an X. So I'm now pulling for 1, 2, 3 units. Cooler, dead. Let's just be real. Maybe I'll get EZA at some point, but you're dead right now. Pretty terrible unit. Even though he's cool, even though he's great animation, he's just dead. These guys will anniversary, and these guys will EZA during the 10th anniversary, which adds value to their pull. They might not be valuable now, but you want them because they will be valuable again, within a year. So now I'm pulling for 4 units. The 5th years, the 9th year anniversary introduced a lot of content where the 5th years can play the game again, especially with this, getting drenched in gamma support and, less AoEs. Maybe they only have to survive 1, the full dodge on their reveal turn, pretty fine. They're back to being usable. If you have them rainbowed, again, this becomes a dead space, but if you do not have them rainbowed and you need those first 2, you're looking at this as a pretty good pickup. And then you go to the Evo Ken pair from the Tournament of Power. They obviously got a monster AoE, or monster EZA rather, that makes them extremely useful in the current content on the superheroes team. Orb changing, yada yada yada, big damage. You get the idea. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units that we want to pull on this banner. On this other banner, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, possible 5 because they're gonna EZA. We have about 5 because we don't really want to see the blues. We don't really want to see the Spirit Bomb, Goku and Vegeta, and none of these other units are particularly good. Again, this character has an issue where they were bad when they released. They're especially bad now. So when you're evaluating what you're going to pull for, when you're evaluating who you're going to pull for, and for how many stones, remember, I put 1,000 stones into this banner. I don't see Broly. I have another choice to make now. Do I keep going? You're no doubt going to hit featured units if you pull for 1,000 stones. The moment you rainbow another one of these units, you need to remember that's a dead space. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that they're going to stop showing up. I rainbowed this character during the 8th anniversary as a free-to-play player. I really didn't want to. I have 2 extra versions of them that I don't have anything to do with. And while they've been strong all year, having them rainbowed is never a bad thing. You can quickly see how that amounts to just wasted stones every single time I pull them. So what if, let's say, you want to pull on a banner that's bad, but has high value for you? Let's say the thing you could get is extremely good for your account. Well, that's a character like Gogeta here. Gogeta is arguably the best character for a new account, sans Beast Gohan. Gogeta does everything you want him to. He's dodge, so he'll stay good. Remember that. However people feel about dodge, he's dodge, so he'll stay good. He has arguably the best active in the game, if not one of the best actives, top 3 certainly. He has a Great Link set. He is a Saiyan, a Super Saiyan. He's also a Power Beyond Saiyan. He's a movie hero. He's a superhero. He's a final trump card. Are you getting the idea? He's a Realm of Gods character. He's a powerful comeback. All tags that you like to be into if you are a character in Dokkan Battle. He also has a transformation that's pretty easy to attain. When he does it, he's healing, he's dodging, he's nullifying. He has an active skill that's insane. He's doing monstrous damage. I don't need to tell you how good Gogeta is. So with all that said, well, what does that mean for pulling? This is a carnival banner. Since the anniversary on JP, we've seen that some of these characters are just not getting used much at all. Some of that is due to the creators we have. People aren't really willing to just get up and lose for an hour. We would like to see. I mean, this is like a dead period in Dokkan. It would be nice to see some of these characters like Kid Gohan and the Worldwide Download Celebration Super Saiyan Trunks be used again. But for the most part, we haven't seen them perform. But what we do know is that they're not great. You know, regardless of when we see them perform, we know they're not great currently. But we do know that Gogeta is one of the best characters you can have for your account. Period. You have a decision to make whenever you pull for characters like this, and I would say that much like Super Saiyan God Goku from last year, this is the type of character that if you're planning to pull for them, you want to leave the celebration with them. Because every amount of stones you spend getting cooler, getting Gohan, getting Trunks. Not so much this character. This character got a great EZA. It's pretty good. This character as well. Getting Triku, unfortunately, is dead stones, dead in the water. But the inverse is if you leave the celebration with Gogeta, he will stay on your account usable for who knows how long. We genuinely can't even fathom how long Gogeta could stay good. He could be the Orange Piccolo of this year. Genuinely. He has the potential to age the best out of any character due to how Dokkan makes content. Even Beast, I'd say. And Beast is amazing. But there's going to come a time where they're like, okay, enough Beast. We might not see that with Dodge. And lastly, when pulling for EZAs, it's kind of scary. So on my JP account, which I only played for a little bit, I just wanted to try the anniversary. On my JP account, I managed to pull these guys pretty early. And one thing you'll notice is that while, this is exciting. First of all, I'm not going to tell you it isn't. What we learned, though, after a little bit of playing the game, is that this unit is kind of markedly worse than we expected due to that transformation condition that just does not feel good, man. You might think that this will just be so easy to get every single time, or that you'll be stacking so much that it'll never go wrong. But once you start putting in density with characters like this on teams that are so strong that you're one phasing, two phasing, you're getting them in 7th slot, you're yada 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 yada. There is something to be said about waiting for the dust to settle when it comes to these EZA units that aren't clearly the best. And for the last thing I'd say to surmise, just don't get caught up in the hype of Dokkan before we sink. The sink is coming. It's slow. It's painful, but it's coming, I'm sure. Try not to let it get to your head. Remember that even though these characters are shiny and look so cool, ultimately they're much more likely to age out and only really exist to be a boon and a fun little bump to content. You will see Buhan and this Vegeta, the Strength Vegito rather, again. You're not going to see those stones again. I promise you. Peace.